Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to be doing a pretty quick woods hatchet loot run tutorial for my brother, although I will be uploading this to YouTube for anybody else that wishes to learn this run. And the other good thing about this tutorial is once you've got this run down, it actually gives you a pretty good starting point to learn the rest of the map. So if you get these landmarks and locations down that I'm going to show you, you can actually use them as starting points to familiarize yourself with the rest of this map. Okay, so let's get started. The first thing that you basically want to do is make sure that you have your woods map on you, which I do, and I will explain that a little bit more in a moment. Again, you can do this with just a hatchet. It is one of the primary purposes of this tutorial, although you can do it with gear, and I'm going to take gear in with me because I am having a little bit of fun with my brother. But the purpose of the hatchet run is to do nothing more than just get loot. A lot of people, when they're doing hatchet runs, they make a mistake. They're trying to actually hunt people or kill people with their hatchet, kill scabs, whatever. That defeats the purpose of a hatchet run. All we care about in a hatchet run is just the loot. So when you're doing said hatchet run and you spawn in, you want to get to the loot boxes and crates as quickly as you possibly can. All you're going to have is this gamma container. You put the loot in your secured container down here. That way, when you die, because you don't really care about living or surviving on a hatchet run anyway, so dying does not really matter all that much. You just want to survive long enough to get the gear, and hopefully a good amount of gear, into your secure container here. But even if you don't, just as long as you got a few good items in there to make it profitable when you die. Okay, so again, make sure you have your woods map on you, and we're going to be doing this in offline mode because I don't really want to be bothered by too many people when I make my tutorials. This is why you want your map on you. You want to make sure, without the map, you would on your person, you would just start some random location, and that would kind of defeat the purpose. You want to make sure you can actually select the side of the map you want to start on, and we will be starting on the old station side. And as you can see, anywhere when you click on the old station, anywhere you can spawn anywhere in this blue circle. And that is what we want. And then you're going to take a look. Here is one of our extraction points. Here is another. So we're going to be making our way towards this one over here, ZB014. So we're going to click on next. Again, well, there aren't really many people playing these days because everybody's waiting for the wipe, but we're going to just keep it with the AI for the moment. And here we go. Once we spawn in, I can usually just go right to the first bunker, which would be our first looting place. But since this is a tutorial, I'm going to walk you right through it step by step. So the first thing that we want, again, I mean, this is an example of what I'm talking about. From here, I know exactly where I need to go, but I'm not going to go there. The first landmark that we're looking for is a red brick building. So if you start on the left side of the map like we just did, and this is kind of one of the things that might take you a couple times to learn exactly where you get started in that blue circle around Old Station. But once you find, if you're lucky enough to find a wall, you can basically just follow the wall, which we're going to be doing 95% of this tutorial anyway. So if you're on the left side, you just go left to find the red brick building, and if you are on the right side, then you would just obviously follow the wall to the right to find our first landmark. And as you can see, it did kind of put us a little bit further away than I would have liked to. Sometimes you can actually start inside, but you see on the off in the distance there, that is actually the building that you're looking for, that red brick building. You want to be careful as you're making your way there, no matter which side, right or left, that you start on. There are scavs that do wander in and around this area, and it's also, again, a player starting location. So you're going to be looking for both scavs and players as you make your way there if you're playing live. See? There's one there, and then there's obviously another one that just went prone somewhere over there. So we're getting into action pretty early in this game. And with me talking and trying to teach this tutorial, so now we got to be careful because we have made some noise. The scavs, no matter where they are on this map, love to be attracted to gunfire. As you can see, I'm not really interested in looting them right now because I'm just trying to teach for this tutorial. But here again, the red brick building, that is what we are interested in finding. Once you find it, come around the back side. Be careful when you're coming into this red brick building because people will spawn in here and scavs will patrol this area. Once you're in the red brick building, that's what we're looking for. Again, coming around the back side, and you'll know you're on the back side because you'll have the train. If you're on the right side, you'll actually come from over there. You'll see the railroad tracks. Just hop up here, come around the back side, through, and then we're looking through that little blown up hole in the wall on this side. Again, we've already shot some scavs, so we're going to be a little bit more careful. But once you come out, we're going to start looking for our second landmark. So just stay to the left a little bit. You're going to come over this hill, and just over this hill you're going to see a pair of boulders or rocks. I call those the twins because they're kind of close together, and that is our second landmark. See, off in the distance, there is our second scav, or our third scav at this point. So you got to be very, very careful. Now, we're coming to here. You want to kind of stay on this side because from our second landmark, we're looking for the third. So from this corner of this landmark, you want to look straight ahead and you'll see those two trees that are right there. Okay, we're going to run straight through those trees. And then on the other side of those trees, you're going to see these bushes right here. Okay, just run right through the bushes, and our bunker is right here. So when you come down into this first bunker, again, to be careful, make sure there's nobody in here. But in this first room, you're going to have 2 loot boxes. If you just had a hatchet on you, basically what we're looking for is any sellable loot or any loot that we can actually utilize, like these meds here. But as you can see, they didn't offer us too much in that first one. Get over there. Now, let's see what the second box offers us. Absolutely zero. So the point I'm trying to make, since these boxes are being so stingy, once you come into the second one, I like to wait for that one. So you're going to come back here to this one. You're going to look at this. And what we're looking for sellable items. I'm kind of glad this one is being a little bit more cooperative. If I had nothing on me more than just a hatchet, we obviously have limited space. I do not care about magazines. I do not care about bullets. I only care about things that are going to be worth money. This scope, for example, this silencer, okay? Don't care about this magazine, so that's all I'm going to put in here. Now, since we made it this far, even if we should get killed, all we have are these 2 items at the moment in our secure container. However, those are actually pretty valuable, so even if we die, we're going to make a pretty nice profit. So we'll go over here and check this one. And the reason I like to do this because I'm already facing the way I need to escape when I get out of here, back the way we came. Again, sellable don't care about any of this crap. Now you can loot this if you have a backpack or the spare room, but once again, if you just have the hatchet, you're doing a hatchet run, all you care about is items that are worth money. Now from this part, once you found the red brick building and you've made it this far with the landmarks that I've shown you, the rest of this is pretty easy. But we want to be careful because we've already pulled the trigger on several scavs, and as you can tell, I can hear a scav somewhere, so we don't want to get shot in the head. He's off to my right somewhere, which is in the direction we would be going. So once you come out of here, we would basically just take off to the right, and we're going to find the wall. So let's just hopefully we not worry about that scav right now. Come up the stairs, and we're looking right to the right. I can hear him. I think he's heard me as well. But we're just taking off straight right, higher ground, and straight to the wall as quickly as possible. Now once we get to the wall on the right side, it gets very, very easy from here. We're just going to follow this wall the entire rest of the way until our loot run is finished. We're going to actually head to those mountains right there in front of us, which acts as the border as well. So we're going to continue to run. Again, as you're running, you notice I'm kind of staying in the shadows. And there's another good tip for other games if you're playing. If you come out here and you see, where's my shadow? You see your shadow right down there. If you're running around corners, you're running around a building, anything, your shadow gets around that corner, it will give you away. You will get shot fairly quickly. The experienced players, good players in this game, just lie in wait in bushes or concealed areas and looking for those little telltale signs. So as you're coming around, now our wall has turned into a rock. We're actually getting close to our second loot location. But once we get up here on these rocks, and you notice I'm still always looking around, looking behind me, looking beside. And once we get up here into these rocks, we want to keep a very close eye on this area, because as you can see, I mean, I can come up in here, and this is a really good little ambush spot. So you want to keep that in mind while you're coming. We're going to continue on to the right, again around corners. Look into these little crevices, these little corners. Make sure that nobody's hiding there for you. You want to be listening. Again, just heard that scav. Okay. And this actually leads, if you follow those rocks, leads right to our second loot location. When you come in here, you have to be kind of careful, because you can get in here and people can set up and wait for you and set a little bit of an ambush as you come around that corner, which we're going to kind of do here, because we already shot one scav in the head, and we're going to see if that other scav comes around the corner as well. He seems to actually be kind of going away from us. I wish this game really had a climb button, but again, once you think you're safe, you're not going to get shot when you're looting. Loot the box. Look for stuff that you can sell. This, yes, that is definitely a nice bonus, and we do not care about anything else. So now that we know scavs are out there, we just shot one in the head, or even if we did not, we're just going to be safely coming out of this area. Continuing our run to the right, looking for people, looking for scavs that we don't know are there. Listening very, very quietly, because this is kind of one of the more dangerous areas on this little loot run. Where are you? I can hear them. They're just off to the right. So normally I would actually take off in a different direction and try and flank them. But you should be able to hear them. Here you are. wee bit of reloading. This is one of the things that we want to keep in mind, because once we the wipe comes out and the patch comes out, you will not be able to reload this quickly anymore. Let's slow our roll a little bit here. Sure. And as you can see, I'm really not interested in looting these scavs at the moment. Though if you got that kill with a hatchet or a gun, now you could kind of go over here and loot them. But again, we're going to be very careful. I really don't care about much that he has. See, and this is where you got to be careful when you're looting. Where are you? Let's get out of here. Run, forest. But again, you're going to follow this wall around. We're actually splitting these rocks, and here's another good tactic, and this is actually a good example. I don't really know where he was firing from. Scavs are a little bit OP in this game. If they've got an angle on you and you don't know where they are, don't just try to stay where you're in the same location. Oops, why am I? And fight them. Just get out of dodge. If you want to try to re-engage them, do it from a different angle, a different location. They are lit aimbots, and they will kick your tail if you don't exactly know where they are. So again, once, for the purposes of this video, we're staying to the right, but if you wanted to, we are starting to encroach on the sawmill location. Once you get here, this is where you really want to start being careful, because most of the people on this map will go to the sawmill area, so you may start hearing gunfire and a lot of gunshots. Keep a look out for scavs, but as you're coming along the map, if you're injured, if you're hurt, if you want to, this is actually an extraction, but it will cost you about 3,000 rubles, as you can see here, which would defeat the purpose of your loot run. But if you need to get out, you need to get out. So if you have money on you, you have the 3,000, you can use that as a quick way to extract from the area. But again, sticking to the right side of the wall, and we're keeping an eye on this area, because the mill is over there, and we can actually have the lumberyard. That's actually the words that I was looking for. But if you want to have fun, and we'll see if we can have a little bit of fun, which is not what the intention of this tutorial is. But there's actually, you can keep following that wall to the right. We're going to come over here, and you can actually get up on these rocks. So if you're doing this loot run, you want to be careful of this area. Players do like to kind of get up here and set up sniper locations. They will go prone. This is a very good sniper location if we can actually get up in here, because we are winded and for some reason it is being a pain in the butt. Usually I can jump right up in through here without much effort, but anyway. But as you can see, this is a beautiful location that's overlooking, and we've got nice little, oops, he moved just as I pulled the trigger. Die. So this is a nice little overlook for the entire lumber mill. The best kind of loot on this map is at the lumber mill. Man, I'm a little bit off with my shooting at the moment. But as you can see, this is an excellent spot if we wanted to pursue down into the lumber mill. There is actually trailers. You can see those trailers right there. They've got safes in them and all that kind of thing. They got some nice loot in there. Keys hanging on walls, that sort of thing if you need your keys. There's actually a truck over there with a gun case on the tailgate, and there's also a couple of nice loot chests in, or I should say loot boxes in those in that building right there. But that is not the point. So we're going to continue on with our loot run, following our wall. And this wall, again, as we're looking, especially since we just made noise, and we've killed a couple people. Actually, we've murdered quite a few people. So as we're running and we're refreshing our stamina, we're always kind of taking a look to our left, because now we're starting to get on the other side of the map where players spawn from the other side. So we're going to be looking for players if we were live. Now, if you were geared, there is a little metal building over there. So if you're geared or you're feeling brave and froggy, if you're just doing a hatchet run, I would not recommend going over there, because a scav does patrol that area and you would just risk dying. So if you're just using a hatchet, don't do it. If you're geared like I am and you're feeling froggy, you can go over there. There are some, as you can see, there's a crate right there. I can't remember if that's actually a gun crate or not, but you can go over there. But I'm not going to do that because we are trying to do a tutorial, the tutorial here. So we're going to keep following this outside wall, and this is going to bring us right into our next loot area. But again, we're encroaching on the other sides. If players were to spawn on the other side of the map, we are encroaching on that area. So we're always going to be running and sprinting when we can, but slowing our roll. Always looking at rocks, especially if they're high, like those ones right off to our left. People do like to, again, just like I just did with the lumber mill, do like to get up in there. So you want to keep an eye on that area. Mostly they're actually up there and they're looking for people heading to the lumber mill, so you can get lucky and catch them from behind. But if they do hear you, this game is so sound dependent that it might end your run. But, oops, I ran right by it. My bad. So let's come back here a little bit. But as we're running towards the wall, that is actually, and this is why we stick to the wall, because when we come to this area, it actually brings us right into the rock. So we're going to come over here to this rock. This is our next loot location. So again, just quickly loot the boxes. And as a reminder, especially if you're doing a hatchet run, we do not care about magazines. We do not care about ammo. We do care about anything that is of value. Gun modifications, sights, the guns themselves. Every once in a while you'll get some pistols and stuff like that kind of spawn in here. This is worth money. We want that. We don't care about the magazines. And just as I say, we have a pistol, so we can throw that over there. And then we are going to head back to our wall and continue our loot run while we're being careful, looking for players, looking for scavs. This outside wall is going to lead us right into the second bunker, which is a wonderful thing, beautiful thing, baby, because it's actually right on the other side of that rock in front of us. That's what makes this hatchet loot run so profitable. But again, and we really should be running around these bushes. You see me running through them, but those bushes do make a little bit of noise. But as we come over here, boom, here is our second bunker on this map. This one you want to be really careful because it is actually an extraction point. So if you come down here, there may be people, but usually when you're doing this, you're running it so quickly. But as you can see, there's a gate. This extraction point requires a key. So sometimes you can actually find this gate open, and as you can see right through there, if I can get back up just enough right through there, every once in a while people will just come here. I don't know if they're wounded, hurt, they don't care about the loot that's inside there, but that's a nice little weapon crate. So you can find this open, you can loot that crate, or get out of Dodge. You don't actually have to go right to the extraction point that we're actually heading to, because you can just loot what's in this room and then just head over to that door and extract. Okay, there's only one loot box here. So we're looking for the good stuff. See, now if I was to come out of this bunker and die, and all I was doing was a hatchet run, I didn't have any of my gear, I would not care, because this right here, you're looking at least 80 to 100,000 rubles, if not more, depending on what the market. I haven't played in a couple days, but this is worth a lot of money. So as long as you got your loot box, your secure container here filled with the good stuff, we don't care if we die on a hatchet run. Search your bag over here. Food is always a good thing. I like these Zippos because if you collect enough of them, and that reminds me, our hydration is only 59. Not that it matters at this point. But let's drink some water, get that up a little bit. And then it's the same, excuse me, it's the same thing. Now all of our looting is done. We've hit all the loot locations on this map that we are going to. So we want to just extract at this point, get out of Dodge, and go make a profit. So once you come out of here, I'm going to go back down here a little bit. There's our wall right on our left side. Coming out of here again, be very careful. Look for scavs that are patrolling the area. Look for people as you're coming out. Spin 180 degrees, keep the wall on your right shoulder, and we're off to the races again. Now this area you want to be super careful, because we're coming up to the area where players really start to spawn in from the other side. You also want to keep an eye on this clear cutting area, because scavs, there's actually a building right up not too far. See, again, just as I speak the words, scavs do spawn and patrol in this area, and they will come this far, as you just seen that one. I've seen them actually come as far as this wall. But especially, there's the building, there's the fences. There's always scavs patrolling this area. Players who may be spawning in late, maybe hiding, doing whatever. So we're always looking for players and scavs when we're in this area. But as you can see, we're still following the wall to our right. Letting your stamina regenerate. Now what I like to do is I actually like to come up into these little hills and valleys here, because they offer us a little bit of protection, which is completely okay because it takes us back to our wall, as you see. But as long as you keep that wall on your right or continue just following the wall, you're golden. But it gives me a little better view of the area if I'm running into people looking for scavs. But again, just keep that wall onto your right. We've got little rocks and outcroppings, this little rocky area that you can come in, which is kind of why I come over here, because that truck is our extraction point. That's exactly what we're looking for, okay? But if you wanted to, you could actually set up a little ambush spot here. You could go prone if you want to, you know, kind of crawl over, get yourself some cover. You can actually have a nice little ambush location all set up for anybody who is spawning in on the opposite side. And there's actually another right around the other side of this rock. If you come all the way around this side, there's actually a deep little corner. So if you're hurt, you're injured, you need to heal, you want to rest, get your stamina back up, you can actually go prone here. And here's another a nice little ambush spot for people spawning on this side. And as you can notice, I mean, nobody can actually come behind you. Just be wary of hand grenades. But again, as we're following our wall, we're going to run right into our extraction point. And right about this tree, as you can see, the extraction is already started. Come here, go prone, and enjoy selling all of that loot that you just extracted out. That is the end of our tutorial. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, learned something again from all of those landmarks that I showed you. I mean, just from this run, you got, you know, from the building to the rock to the trees to the first bunker, following the wall, you got to see actually where the, you know, the lumber mill is. So once you get a little bit more familiar with the map, you could start exploring the lumber mill area, start going in a little bit more towards the middle of the map, those sort of things. So you can see how quickly just learning this little loot run, that you could very easily learn the rest of the map from those points. And it's kind of actually the same from the opposite side. So anyway, thank you for watching. Enjoyed making the tutorial. Have a good day.